Good morning. Namaskar. Let us begin with a prayer. This is on page 184 of the universal prayers, the book Universal Prayers. The first one on page 184 from the Shivananda Lahari by Shankaracharya. Prabhustvam dīnānām khalu paramabandhu Pashupate Parmukhyoham teshāmapi kimata bandhustvamanayo Tvayaiva kshantavyaha shivamadaparadhascha sakalah Prayatnāt kartavyam madavanamiyam bandhusaranihi. You are verily the master and the greatest friend of the distressed, while I am the foremost amongst them all. What else is required to establish relation between us? O blessed Lord, you should forgive all my sins and bring about my salvation by your earnest effort. For such is the way of friends. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. A little bit water. Kumar is there. Let us continue the study of Yajna Dana Tapas. These three duties, Niyata Karma. Niyata Karma means you're all required to do this. Prescribed obligatory duties for all human beings, even for those who are not particularly engaged in spiritual practices. These are kartavya, duties to be done. Yajna, dana, tapas. So in shloka number 5, Bhagavan Shri Krishna has emphasized. This has come before in the previous chapter. Thank you. For emphasis, it is repeated here in this chapter in shloka number 5. Yajñatana tapah karma natyajyam karyameva tat yajño danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Yajñadana tapah karma. These three duties, required obligatory work to be done by all. Natyajyam, should not be given up at all under any circumstances. Karyameva, should be done. See how much emphasis Bhagavan Sri Krishna places on these three things. Rare exceptions are there for those who are very old, very sick, cannot do anything. Of course, they cannot do anything. But otherwise, everybody should do these three duties. Yajna, dana, tapas. Yajño danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Manishi means people who have wisdom. If these three activities are done with the proper attitude, yajna, dana, tapas. Yajna means sacrifice. All work has to be done as sacrifice. Offering. Sacrifice means offering. The word sacrifice is sometimes frightening. You are not sacrificing anything or anybody. You're doing it as an offering with love. Dana, charity. We saw before, dana is a very important part of human life. Why we should give charity? Because every moment of our lives we are receiving innumerable gifts from other people, animals, plants, and nature. Every moment. The air we are breathing contains oxygen given by the plants. The sunlight, which supports life, comes from nature, from sun. The earth is protecting us, producing the crop for the food that we eat. In this way, other people are hundreds or if not thousands of people are working to make everything possible in our lives. We have seen all this before. The food we eat, how many people are involved the in making it possible for us to eat food, starting from the farmer who grows the food somewhere in this country or some other country, and all the chain of people contributing their knowledge, skill, and labor to make it possible for us to eat. The clothes we wear, the cars we drive, the road on which we travel, the building in which we live, the air conditioning, the computer system which we use, all so many people are working. We are receiving the benefit of their work. So what are we doing in return? We have to give our share. We cannot individually recognize all the people who work for us. It's not possible physically. But whatever we do, we should be done as an offering to all those entities. Whole of nature, the trees, animals, sun, moon, they're all helping us this moment. And all the other people, animals and plants. So that in the spirit of offering, everything we do should be done. That is yajna, dana, sharing what we have. Tapas. Three kinds of tapas, austerity we saw in the previous chapter. Tapas pertaining to the body, shariram tapaha in shloka number 14, chapter 17. Austerities pertaining to speech, vāṅmayam tapaha, 5 of them, in shloka number 15, the previous chapter. And austerities, 5 of them pertaining to mind, manasam tapaha, shloka number 16, chapter 17. So we have to keep all those things in mind. This is tapas, yajnadana tapaha natyajam. If we do them in the proper attitude, with the proper attitude, what happens? Pavanani, they purify our minds. They make us free from all blemishes such as selfishness, narrow-mindedness, greed, violence. All these things will gradually become less and mind becomes pure. And once the mind becomes pure, then the way is paved for realization. Purity of mind is the most important thing. All spiritual practices are done to purify the mind. Once the mind is purified, once the mind is purified, it paves the way for pure devotion, Shuddha Bhakti Prema, or for Atmajnana, self-knowledge. Jnanis seek Atmajnana, self-knowledge. Devotees seek pure devotion, Prema, Raga Bhakti. So both these are possible only if the mind becomes pure. So if we do every activity as yajna, dana as tapas, then our mind becomes pure. Then the goal of human life will be reached. That is why so much emphasis is given again and again on these 3 disciplines. Yajna, dana, tapa, natyajam, should not never be given up. Karyameva, have to be done. And even these 3 activities have to be done without attachment. Throughout the Gita, Bhagavan has been saying, whatever you do it without attachment. Sangam tyaktva, attachment to karma, karma phala. One instruction that runs throughout the Gita. So that discipline applies to these three karma also. Yajna, dana, tapas should be done without attachment to these activities themselves and the fruits therefrom. We do our duty and then our duty ends, our part ends. Regarding the fruit of actions that we do, we have no control. We should not have any expectations or should not seek to benefit from this. Benefit will come, but there should not be the motivation why we should work. For the good of all, we should do all activities. So that is explained in sloka number 6, chapter 18. Etanyapita karmani sangam tyaktva phalani cha kartavyani te me partha nishchitam matam uttamam. Me matam uttamam. My final firm conviction. Bhagavan says, for emphasis, he adds. These three activities also, etanepita karmani, even these yajna, dana, tapas, these activities also, sangam tyaktva, phalani tyaktva, kartavyani. Kartavyani, they must be done without attachment. Giving up attachment to karma, karma phala. Phalani tyaktva, giving up fruits of action. Result will come, but we are not doing it primarily to get the result. Whatever action we do, some result will come. Karma phala will inevitably come. Every action produces some reaction. Good, good, bad, bad. None escape the law, Swamiji said. So result will come, but you are not attached to it. If it is good result, pleasant, agreeable, we accept it without too much exultation, celebration. If the result is not so good, not to our liking, then we all remain unperturbed. Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha alabhau jaya ajayau. Second chapter, sloka 38. From beginning, Sri Krishna has been emphasizing that we should remain equanimous in success and failure. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva. Remaining equanimous in success and failure. It will come later in the 18th chapter also, it will come. Siddhya siddhyor nirvikaraha, it will come. Very important. If something good happens, benefit comes, profit comes, reward comes, then we should not be too much exalted, celebrate, and be attached to it. If the result is not to our liking, unpleasant result comes in spite of our best work, still we have to remain unperturbed, because success, failure, the result of karma is not dependent on what we do only. Other factors will also affect the outcome of our work. That will come in a few shlokas later, that will come. What are the other factors that affect the outcome of our work? We are the doers, at least we think we are the doers. But then the result should be according to my liking. I do the best work. No, the result is uncontrollable, unpredictable. Always. What in any kind of work, the result is unpredictable. We don't know whether it will succeed or fail. We may have some rough understanding or expectation will be there, should succeed, but it may or may not happen. There is no 100% guarantee that everything we do will be successful. Sometimes failure comes, sometimes success comes. Why it happens? Why this uncontrollability, unpredictability of the karma phala, though I am doing the action? That question comes. That is answered in the 14th verse later in this chapter. Several other factors, many of them over which you have not much control, they also affect the outcome of our work. We'll understand those factors. Then it will be easy for us to accept the outcome even if it is not to our liking, if you know the reason. So that will be studied later. Etanyapita karmani, even these activities, yajna, dana, tapas, sangam tyaktva, phalani tyaktva, kartavyani, they have to be done without attachment to karma and karma phalani. This is my firm conviction. Itime nishchitam matamuttamam, Bhagavan says. This translation here is, but even these works, yajna dana tapas, O Arjuna, must be done without attachment to them and to their fruits. This is my firm and most valid decision. Matamuttamam. So the key point here is, which has already come many times, no attachment to karma phala. Do our work in the best possible way as offering, with love, with gratitude, with devotion, with joy. Gratitude because we should be thankful for the work we are doing. The opportunity to work and the ability to do that work, both are very precious gifts. Though we don't think about it like that in most of the time. We think, oh, work, I have to do this like this. No, work is a great privilege. And the ability to do work, opportunity to do work, both are very special gifts. We have been given that one. Because it is always there, we don't recognize it. We take it for granted. Don't think about it as gift. Unless they are taken away from us. So we have to do it with joy, with love, with gratitude, with devotion. All work has to be done. Then mind becomes pure. No selfishness, no attachment. When the mind once becomes pure, then we get pure devotion, knowledge, both will come. If you get one, the other also will come. Buy one, get one free. You either get full devotion, pure devotion, you get self-knowledge. Sri Ramakrishna said that one. If one has pure devotion to God, the Divine Mother gives such a person self-knowledge also. If you have self-knowledge, devotion will automatically come. The great jnanis also great bhaktas. Ramana Maharshi, Swami Turiyananda, all great jnanis. They are also great devotees. Divine Mother, always. So both will come. So we have to achieve yajna tapas, doing them without attachment to action, karma without attachment to karma phala. That is the concluding instruction. So many times it has come, it is mentioned here again. 18th chapter, as we saw before, as Shankara has mentioned in his introduction to this chapter, this is a summary review of all the earlier 17 chapters. Now we go to sloka number 7. We should never give up required duties. Niyata karma. Sloka number 7. Niyatasya tu saṃnyāsah karmano nopapadyate mohat tasya parityagah tamasah parikirtitah. Niyatasya karmanah. Not karmasya, karmanah. Niyatasya karmanah saṃnyāsah na upapadyate. Giving up obligatory work, niyata karma, is not appropriate, it's not good, should not be done. Tasya parityagaha karmana parityaga, niyata karmana parityaga. Giving up, parityaga means giving up obligatory duties, failure to do obligatory duties because of delusion, mohat, tamasa parikirtitaha, that is tamasic tyaga. Now in these next 3 shlokas, 7, 8 and 9, Bhagavan is going to describe 3 kinds of tyaga, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. In the earlier chapter, we saw 3 kinds of yajna, dana, tapas were described in chapter 17. In the 18th chapter, this will continue. In the 18th chapter, Bhagavan is going to describe 3 kinds of tyaga, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. 3 kinds of jnana, understanding. 3 kinds of karma. There's sattvic karma, rajasic karma, tamasic karma. 3 kinds of karta, doer. Some people are sattvic doers. Whatever they do it in a sattvic way. Some people do everything in a rajasic way. Lot of noise and moving about and show. Some people do everything in a tamasic way. And karta, buddhi, 3 kinds of buddhi. Three kinds of dhriti, steadiness, and three kinds of sukha. Sukha means happiness. Some happiness is sattvic happiness, enjoyment without causing any problem to other people and to oneself, harmless. Or rajasic sukha, or tamasic sukha. Tamasic sukha, in the beginning, they appear very pleasant. At the end, when the result comes, only pain and misery. So should not be done. Sattvic sukha is better. In the beginning, it may appear difficult, but at the end, it produces great joy. So we'll study all of that in this chapter. So here, 7, 8, and 9, three kinds of tyaga, renunciation of work. What are they? Sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Tamasic work is being described here in shloka number 7. Niyatasya saṃnyāsasya karmano nopapadyate. Niyata karma means required duties. Some are daily duties, nitya karma. Some are occasional duties on special occasions. Naimittika karma. We have seen all of that before. They should never be given up. If you give up niyata karma, you'll be failing in your duties. You become kartavya brashta. This term kartavya brashta should be understood. Kartavya means something that is to be done by everybody. We all have our duties. Duties are not same for all. What is my duty now is not your duty. And duties change for the same person with time. What was my duty yesterday is not my duty today. What was my duty 10 years ago is not my duty today. And tomorrow it may be different. So for the same person, duty varies with time. And at any given time, duty varies from person to person. So it's a highly variable entity, duty. In his Karma Yoga lecture, Swamiji has written one chapter called What is Duty? The title of the chapter is What is Duty? There he has described the variable nature of duty. It changes from time to time for the same person and for different people, duties are different at the same time. So we have to ascertain. First duty is we have to ascertain what is my duty this moment. Am I doing what I am supposed to be doing? Or am I doing something else which I am not supposed to be doing at this time? The time also may be important. If it's my duty in the evening, I cannot do it in the morning. If my duty is in the morning, I should do it in the morning, not later. So timing is important. So second thing is we have to perform our duty with love, devotion, gratitude, and joy. That is what we are required to do. Then mind becomes pure. So here, niyatasya karmanah saṃnyāsasya na upapadyate. It is unreasonable, improper to give up obligatory duties, niyata karma. Tasya parityagaha, giving up performing obligatory duties, mohat, by delusion, misunderstanding, tamasa parikirtitaha is tamasic tyaga, should never be done. Tyaga must be sattvic. Now in the 8th sloka, we go to rajasic tyaga. Dukkhamityeva yat karma kaya klesha bhayat tyajet sukritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet. Dukkhamiti. So this is very difficult to do. Some things are easy to do, some things are difficult to do. Simply because something is difficult to do, we should not give it up. If it is to be done, it has to be done, easy or difficult. Dukkhamiti, because of kaya klesha bhayat, it causes discomfort to the body. If you have to move something from here to there, you have to move it. You can take some help. Because it is difficult, uncomfortable, we should not neglect our duties. Kaya klesha means the pain of the body. Even if sometimes it is uncomfortable, painful, but still it has to be done. We may get some help. What is to be done should be done, regardless. Dukkhamityeva yat karma klesha bhayat tyajet. If somebody gives up required duty because it is difficult to do, hard to do. Such tyaga is called rajasic tyaga. Sakritva rajasam tyagam. Satyaga, giving up because it's difficult, is rajasic tyaga. Should not be done. Naiva tyaga phalam labhet. Such a person will not get any benefit of tyaga. That kind of relinquishing tyaga is useless. We should, even if something we have to do is difficult, still we have to do it. I gave the example of clearing the snow in winter. Driveway is all full of snow, and the walkway, sidewalk is full of snow. It's difficult to go out in the winter and clear the snow. It has to be done because it has to be done. Difficult, unpleasant duty should be done. That will come in the 10th sloka, 2 slokas later. Even if duty is unpleasant, we should not give it up. We will do that one. So, sloka number 8. Dukkhamittyeva yat karma kaya klesha bhayat tyajet sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet. Rajasic tyaga, giving up something because it is difficult to do, should not be done. Then we go to sattvic tyaga. That is important. Sloka number 9. Karyametyeva yat karma niyatam kriyate arjuna sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva satyaga sattviko mataha. Sattvika tyaga is being described in sloka number 9. Karyamiti. This has to be done. This is required of me. Whether convenient or not, I have to do it. I will do it with great joy, love, devotion, and gratitude. That should be the attitude. Not unwillingly, oh, I am stuck with this job. Why I have to do this one? Let somebody do it. I'll do the minimum and get it out of the way. Not like that. With great joy, love, and devotion, thank you for letting me do this. Itself is a great privilege. Work is an opportunity for spiritual progress. All work is sadhana, spiritual progress. If you do it that way, with devotion. Otherwise, it becomes a drudgery. Same work, if you do it one way, it helps you to get devotion, knowledge. If you do the same work in a different way, it binds us and makes us more unhappy. I gave the example of a key, of a lock. Nowadays, locks are digital locks. We press the digits 1, 2, 3. Earlier in our time, locks were mechanical locks. You have to use a key to open the lock. The same key, if you turn it one way, it opens the lock. Freedom. If you turn it the opposite way, it locks. Bondage. Karma is the key to liberation. Do it in the proper way, you get freedom, liberation, moksha, everything. Do it in the opposite way, same karma, get bondage, rebirth, misery, suffering. Same key. Karma. So karma is the most important thing. Karma is the way to liberation. Karma is the way to bondage. Depends upon how we do that one. Our attitude. Karma is the same. See, this is sattvic karma. It has to be done properly. Karyamiti eva yat karma kriyate. Niyatam karma kriyate. Niyatam karma means required duty. This is my duty. I have to do it. I'll do it with great joy. Thanks for letting me do this one. It's a privilege to do this work. So with eagerly, with joy, I will do this work. Not grudgingly, unwillingly, not like that one. Sangam tyaktva, again this comes. This sangam tyaktva, throughout Gita, this one instruction comes. Giving up attachment. Whatever you do, required duty, anything, do it without attachment to karma phala. Sangam tyaktva, phalam chaiva, karma phala. Karma phala will come, but I am not attached to it. If it is good, I'll accept it. If it is bad, it's okay too. Depends upon other factors. So that equanimity in success failure, siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate, came early in the Bhagavad Gita, second chapter. Second chapter, sloka 48, very important sloka. You have to remember that one. There, Bhagavan gave this important instruction, which is good for all life, for everybody. For everyone, this instruction applies, even for those who are not necessarily engaged in spiritual life. What is the instruction? Shloka number 48, chapter number 2. There he says, Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Yogastha karmani kuru. As a yogi, perform all actions. How? Sangam tyaktva, giving up attachment to karma and karma phala. Sangam tyaktva, siddhya siddhyo sama bhutva. Siddhi means success, siddhi means failure. That's not in our hands. Karma we have to do, but result is not under our control, as you are going to see in the next few shlokas. Other factors affect the outcome. So I do my best. That's all I can do. My part ends there, doing the best. Then whatever result comes, I accept it with equanimity. Success, I'm not going to enjoy too much, celebrate too much, and become arrogant. Oh, I've succeeded. Failure comes, okay, too. I did my best. That there my responsibility ended. With that equanimity, you have to accept success and failure. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Yoga means equanimity. The essence of yoga is equanimity under all circumstances. In good times and bad times, in success and failure, in praise and blame, in profit and loss, in good times and in suffering, we have to remain equanimous. As much as possible, you have to try to the best of our abilities. Sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva tyāgasya mataha. Sloka number 9 in chapter 18. This kind of tyaga is sattvic tyaga that we have to do. Karyamityeva yat karma niyatam kriyate arjuna. Niyatam karma kriyate. Required duty has to be done. How? Karyamityeva. This has to be done. This is my duty, sacred duty. All work is sacred work. All work is worship. All work is seva, service. All work is offering, yajna, to the Lord. With that attitude, if we do work, mind becomes pure and shows the way to freedom, moksha. Sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva tyāgasya mataha. So these three kinds of tyaga we have seen. Tamasic, Rajasic, Sattvic tyaga in 7, 8 and 9. Now we go to a very important shloka, number 10. In the commentary, Shankara has said that this shloka is the gist of Karma Yoga. It says, Purvaktasya Karma Yogasya Prayojanam Anineva Shlokena Uktam. By this shloka, the whole benefit of Karma Yoga has been described. Shloka number 10. Not difficult, but important. Let us do shloka number 10. Nadveshtya kushalam karma kushalena nushajyate tyāgi sattva-samavishto medhavi chinna samshayaha. Nadveshti does not hate. Dveshti means somebody who hates something. Some people don't hate certain kind of food. Children say, oh, I hate this food. I hate broccoli. Children say, no, that is not good. Whatever is good, we have to accept it and welcome it. Nadveshti akushalam karma. See the word anga is there. Akushalam means unpleasant. As opposed to kushalam, which comes later. Kushalam karma means pleasant, agreeable work that people enjoy doing. It brings visibility, benefit, reward, praise. Everybody likes to do that kind of work. Kushalam karma, easy to do. Akushalam karma means something that is difficult to do. Daily chores, cooking, cleaning every day. You have to same food. You have to cook. You have to clean. You have to take care of all these little things. Unpleasant. Something interesting I want to do, but this is a routine chore. I don't like to. It's difficult to do it. Nobody says thank you. We work so hard, and people take it for granted. That is akushalam karma. So tendency is to escape that kind of work, that kind of karma should not be done. Okay. So akushalam karma na dveshti. Unpleasant work one should not hate. Work has to be done. If it is to be done, niyata karma, present and present does not matter. Kushale na anushajyate. In kushala karma, pleasant duty, agreeable duty, we should not become attached to it. The tendency is to do more and more agreeable work and less of disagreeable work. That should not be done. Agreeable or disagreeable, pleasant or pleasant, what is to be done has to be done. Karyamityeva. Tyāgi sattasamaviṣṭo medhavi chinna samṣayaha. Tyāgi means one who gives up attachment to karma phala. That has come many times before. Sattasamaviṣṭaha. That means established in sattva, endowed with sattva, sattvic qualities, sattvic buddhi, sattvic attitude, sattvic frame of mind, all those will do. And anything we do should be done in a sattvic way. The Jnana Tapa has to be done in a sattvic way. Tyāgi sattasamaviṣṭaha medhavi. Medha means a very intelligent person, thinking deeply. To succeed in God realization also we need intelligence. A dull person cannot do much. In the Viveka Chudamani, while describing the qualities of a seeker of God, seeker of knowledge, Shankara says one quality is medhavi. A student of Vedanta should be very sharp, should be able to reason clearly and come to sound conclusions. Uvāca, vichakshanaha, all these are many qualities required of a student. Obedience to the teacher, all these things are necessary. So, medhavi, a person, a karma yogi, should be intelligent, able to think clearly. Chinna samṣayaha, free from all doubts. There will be doubts, but we should become free from them as much as possible by clear reasoning and understanding. Reasoning must be clear, then doubts will become less and less. All doubts will completely go 100% only when we realize the ultimate goal, God realization or self-knowledge. Until then, some doubts will linger in our minds. Let them be. So which happens first? All the doubts will go away or God realization will come. Both will happen at the same time. But you have to reduce our doubts by clear thinking, reasoning. Then doubts will become less. Medhavi chinna samṣaya, such a person who renounces the sattvic tyāgi, sattasamaviṣṭaha, sattvic frame of mind, medhavi, intelligent person, chinna samṣaya, free from doubt, such a person, akushalam karma na dveshti, does not hate unpleasant work. Kushale karmani na anushajyate, if the work is pleasant, does not become attached to it. Something is nice to do, then you want to keep doing it. I will do it, like that one. Too much attachment to work, if it is pleasant, is not good. What is required has to be done, pleasant or unpleasant. That is the gist of Karma Yoga, says. The last sentence is Shankara, this verse teaches the purpose served by Karma Yoga. By practicing Karma Yoga, what happens is our mind becomes calm and pure. Likes and dislikes will become less and less. In the beginning, people have very strong likes. I like this very much. I want to keep on doing it. I want more. This thing I don't like very much. I hate it. I want to avoid it. That is very strong. But properly, if karma yoga is done with love offering as seva, as service, then those strong likes and dislikes will become less and less. Everything becomes normal. Not too much one way or the other. Na dveshti. Na anushajyate. So that is the gist of karma yoga. Now it comes a very familiar topic in sloka number 11, which came in the 3rd chapter. There Bhagavan is going to say, it's already said in chapter 3, sloka number 5. It is physically impossible for anyone to remain without work even for a short period of time, which is something that we know from experience. We don't have to read in a book. You can't remain without doing work. Something we are always happening in our bodies and minds. Mind is always thinking something. Even in a dream, mind is active. Only in deep sleep, mind is at rest. In deep sleep, body is continuing to work. The physiological processes are going on round the clock, non-stop. They have to. And our mind is always active. Our sense organs are always active. You are seeing something, hearing something, saying something, eating something, walking here and there, doing something. Activities are going on. See, that is being said in sloka number 11. Nahi deha bhrata shakyam tyagyam karmanyasheshatah yastu karma phalatyagi satyagyetyabhidiyate. Deha bhrat means a person who has body consciousness. Dehabrat means one who carries the body. That means most of us are body conscious people. We are aware of what's happening in the body. Some small pain here, we feel it. So, such people, Dehabrat, we are all Dehabrat. For body conscious people, embodied people, beings, Dehabrata, Nashakyam is not possible to tyaktum, to give up. What? Asheshata karmani. Asheshata means without remainder, all. It is not possible to give up all karma by body conscious people. That means all of us. Can you give up karma? Not possible. We are always doing something. If you are sleeping, that's also karma. Activity is going on. So we cannot stop karma from happening in the body. This came where? Earlier in the chapter 3, sloka number 5. There, Bhagavan had said, Nai kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtyatya karmakrit karyate hyaushah karma sarva prakriti jair guna. And then he said, even body maintenance will become impossible if you don't do karma. Supposing I say I don't want to go to work today, I'll just keep quiet. Then how long can we keep quiet? I don't want to get up from bed. I will not do anything today. I'll remain without doing any work. Not possible. Nature makes you get up and do work. Become hungry, you want to drink tea or coffee, breakfast. Work is not possible to stop. Sharira yatra pichate na prasiddhyeda karmanaha. 3rd chapter. Sharira yatra means maintaining the body. Becomes impossible for a person who does not want to do any work. Not possible physically. So that being mentioned again. Karma has to be done. But which karma to do and how to do, those are important things. That's where karma yoga comes. Niyata karma has to be done, required duties have to be done, yajnana tapa have to be done. 2 kinds of karma should not be done. What are they? 2 kinds of karma we have to give up. That is kamya karma, nishiddha karma. Kamya karma means selfish activity done for purely for one's own pleasure or benefit. What we do should be in the interest of everybody, everything. Yajna. Nishiddha karma means prohibited actions, immoral, illegal actions. Telling lies and cheating and stealing should never be done. Accepting that all niyata karma have to be done. Yastu karma phala tyāgasya satyāgyetyabhidiyate. When you talk of tyaga, renunciation, we can't give up karma. Karma cannot be given up. But karma phala, attachment to karma has to be given up. What you have to give up is attachment to karma, karma phala, not karma. Cannot give up, should not give up. So he who gives attachment to karma phala is a tyāgi. Not one who tries to give up karma. Not possible. If such a person becomes a karma bhrashta. Karma bhrashta means a person who fails to do his required duty. Such a person will never succeed in life or in anything. Not only spiritual life, in worldly life also, such a person will not succeed. You have to do our required duties. Yastu karma phala tyāgi. He who gives up attachment to karma phala tyāgi. Saha tyāgi. Such a person is a tyāgi. Not one who gives up karma. One who gives up karma phala, attachment to karma phala tyāgi. He is a true tyāgi. Not one who tries to give up karma, escape karma. I don't want to do this. Let me somebody do it. This one, not like that. With joy, with devotion, with love, we have to do our karma. That is the essence. Nahi deha bhrata shakyam tyaktyam karmanyasheshatah yastu karma phala tyāgi satyāge tya vidhiyate. All this is familiar from earlier chapters. Now comes another interesting, important verse, shloka number 12. Whatever action we do, some result will definitely come. Any action will come. Benefit will come. Benefit or result will come. Nothing goes in waste. Every thought we think produces the result. Not visible, but in the mind it creates impression. Everything that we say produces a result. May not be immediately, but after some time. It creates an impression in our mind, every action. Every step we take produces the result. So karma phala is inevitable. That is, three kinds of karma phala will come. Any action, depending upon the type of karma we do. That's being described in shloka number 12. Anishtam mishram cha trividam karmana phalam bhavatyatyāginām pretya natu saṃnyāsinām kvachit. Anishtam, ishtam, mishram. Three kinds of karma phala. Trividam karmana phalam. Three kinds of karma phala will come depending upon what kind of karma we do. Bhavati. Three kinds of karma result will come. To whom? Atyāginām. For those who don't give up attachment to karma phala. Atyāgi. Tyāgi means one gives up attachment to karma phala. Atyāgi means one who does not give up attachment to karma phala. To such a person, result will definitely come. To others also it will come, but they are not attached to it. They are not affected by it. Natu saṃnyāsinām kvachit. Sannyasi means those who gives up attachment to karma phala. Not karma. Karma cannot be given up. Everybody has to do karma. But those who do karma without attachment to karma phala, for them they are free from the result of karma. They are not affected by it. That means, if I do a karma with attachment, then that karma produces the result, two kinds of result, which is visible result, drishta phalam. Immediately something will come. If I say some bad word to somebody, that person will scold me or hit me back. Immediate result. But if I say something bad to somebody, that produces a long-term result in my mind. The bad impression I am collecting in my mind. So two kinds of karma phala will come for every karma. Drishta phalam, immediate visible result. Adrishta phalam, unseen result. Unseen result is in the impression in the mind is formed. That's how our character is formed. All the impressions that we have gathered by our own actions for a long period of time, that's what our personality is today, that we've seen before. So I'm shaping my personality every moment by my present thought, my present action. I can change it. I can become a better person by thinking pure thoughts, doing good actions without selfishness. Or I can become a worse person by becoming greedy and lazy and blaming others for my problem and all kinds of things. So it depends upon me. Our destiny is in our hands, Swamiji said, which is true. That we know from other studies also. In the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna says, a person becomes what he thinks. If I think I'm a pure person, good person, I think good thoughts, do good deeds, then I become a good person. If I think bad thoughts, do bad deeds, and say bad words, then I become a bad person. Who is responsible? Myself. Every one of us is responsible for our own life, good or bad, pain or pleasure, suffering or whatever is our own creation. We should not blame anybody else if some problem is there. It's my own creation. Swami Vivekananda said, no misery comes to any being except as one has paved the way for it oneself. If I am unhappy today, sick today, or poor, or whatever I am today, that's because I did something to warrant it. I don't know, forgotten what I did. I'm suffering. Why I'm suffering now? What did I do? Am I a good person? No. Nothing comes, good or bad, both, except as we have worked for it, paved the way for it. It's in our hands. So that is why we have to perform our duties in the best possible sattvic way. And result will definitely come. Every action will produce result, either immediately or some action produce result later. There's a big gap between karma, karma phala in some cases. Some actions produce immediate result. If I put my hand on a hot plate, there's no gap. Immediately I feel the heat. It doesn't take any time. But if I plant a mango tree, it will not produce result in 1 week or 2 months or 3 months or 1 year or 2 years. It will take a long 5-6 years for the first crop to come. Depends upon the nature of action. Result will come immediately or slowly or very slowly or in the next life. Sometimes you do something and nothing happens. I may say I got away with it. No, it'll come back and catch up with you either in this life or in the next life. Karma phala will never leave us. It will always come. Delay may be there or it may come quickly. Depends on the nature of action. So, 3 kinds of result will come. Trividam karmana phalam bhavati. To whom? Atyaginam. For those who don't give attachment to karma phala. Yatu saṃnyāsinam. For those who give attachment to karma phala, but don't give up karma. For them, karma phala will not come. It will come, but they will not be affected by that one. They will remain free. Way to become free from karma phala. That is way to liberation, freedom. If it is done without attachment to karma phala, atyagi. Atyagi means one who does not give attachment to karma. If it is done without attachment, tyaga, then result will not affect us. Result will come, it will not affect us. We will remain free. Anishtamishtam mishram cha trividam karmanah phalam bhavatyattyaginam pretya nachu saṃnyāsinam kvashit. The fruit of work is threefold. Disagreeable, anishtam. Agreeable, ishtam. Mishram, mixed. It accrues to the non-relinquishers, atyaginam bhavati. After their death, pretya, some result will come in the next life. Some will come in immediately, depending on the type of action, intensity of action. Very intense action will produce immediate result. But some action produces slowly after the next life we are getting the benefit of our past life now. Some good is happening because I can't account for it. Why this has happened to me? I didn't do anything. I didn't. Oh, you have done something that is producing result now. Long time ago, karma happened. The previous, but karma phala is coming now. Same thing happens about bad result. Why am I suffering now? I didn't do anything wrong in this life. But the karma, dushkarma I did in the previous life, which I have forgotten, that is producing the bad result now. Nothing comes except as I have paved the way for it myself. So how to escape from karma phala? Atyaginam, giving up attachment to karma phala. Then I will not be affected by that. So the concluding instruction that we have to draw from this sloka number 12 is, whatever action we do, we should do it without attachment to karma phala. Otherwise, we'll be stuck with the karma phala. Atyaginam bhavati. Natu tyaginam. For those who give attachment to karma phala, result will not affect them. Result will come, they will not be affected by that one. That is the gist of this sloka. Very important.
Whereas the commentary in the Tapasyananda is, it's very interesting how he has interpreted it.
What is he saying?
He says, regarding those who have not relinquished their desires, Atyaginam, they reap after death the fruits of their actions performed with desire. They are of three sorts: unpleasant, like degradation into animal life, or stay in purgatory for the very wicked; pleasant, like attainment of heavenly felicities for the virtuous; and mixed, as in human birth, for those who have karmas of both these types to their credit. But some sannyasins will have none of these.
It depends on what type of karma we do in this life. Next life, what happens in next life is you are earning it right now. You are working. If I do good deeds, think good thoughts, do good deeds without selfishness, without attachment, I'll be born in a very good family. That we saw in chapter 6, sloka number 40, 41, 42. What happens to a person when a person dies, when a spiritual seeker dies, before obtaining liberation? Arjuna's question. In chapter 6, Arjuna asks a very important question. In 3 slokas, 37, 38, 39, chapter 6. It takes 3 slokas to ask one question. The question was, what happens to a spiritual seeker who dies before achieving liberation? All the sadhana he did, will it be waste? The answer comes. Bhagavan Sri Krishna answers the question in many slokas, answers the question. 40, 41, 42, etc. There he says, no effort is wasted in spiritual life. Bhagavan says, no effort is wasted in spiritual life. Such a person will be born in the next life in a very good family, the family of rich people. Srimatam gehe yoga brishta bijayate shuchinam srimatam gehe athava yoginam eva kule bhavati dheematam. Or in the family of a yogi, a family of yogis, where everybody is doing yoga. Dhimatam yoginam kule bhavati. And from what happens in next life to such a person is, from where he had left off spiritual practice in the previous life, from that point onwards, he will continue spiritual practice in the next life. Nothing is wasted. I gave the example of long distance road journey. If traveling from Boston to Los Angeles, you can't cover in one day. So you have to travel for 4 or 5 days. So every day when you wake up, you start from the point where you left off the previous night, not from the beginning. So it is cumulative. Spiritual life is cumulative. Nothing is wasted. But in worldly life, it is not like that. Everything will end with this life. If you had somebody had made a lot of money, millions of dollars, and has saved it in the bank, big house and everything, cars are there, and the person dies, next time when he is born, start from ABCD 1, 2, 3, 4, start earning. You cannot say to the bank, last time I deposited $1 million in the bank, I want to withdraw some of it. No, forget about it. Bank will not give. Yeah. If one has a PhD in this life, next life you start from ABCD 1, 2, 3, 4, preschool, kindergarten. You cannot say I did master's degree last time, give me admission to PhD. No. In worldly life, it is like effort will be lost after some time, produces some result. But in spiritual life, nothing is lost. Even if you take the name of God a few times, 108 times a day you repeat, japa, not much intense spiritual practice, but that will be saved. And next time when you are born, from the point where we left off our spiritual life in this life, from that point onwards, our spiritual journey will continue. Nothing is wasted. This was mentioned in the second chapter, sloka number 40 to 40. There Bhagavan had said, Neha Vikramana Shosti Pratyavayo na vidyate Salpamapyasya dharmasya Tayate mahato bhayat. Even if you do little bit of spiritual practice in this life, it will save you from danger. Next life, you start from there where you left off in this life. No loss of effort. Neha Vikramana Shosti. Pratyavayo, no adverse side effect, no loss of effort in spiritual life. But in worldly life, things will be lost. If a farmer works very hard, plows the land, prepares the land with much effort, sows the seed, fertilizers, everything, waits for rain. If too much rain comes, crop will be washed away, no benefit. So much hard work went to waste. No rain comes, still no crop, and all the hard work he did, money he spent, labor, lost. That won't happen in spiritual life. Every small thing we do is saved for us. That will not be lost. From there we continue. That's the very positive message of Vedanta. So even if we cannot reach the goal, it's okay. We'll reach in the next life. Not we should postpone, but we should try to achieve in this life. If it's not possible for some reason, it will happen. Nothing will be wasted. Very positive, encouraging message. So 3 kinds of results will come. Sloka number 12, we will stop here. Anishtamishtam mishram cha trividam karmanah phalam pavatyattyaginam pretya natu saṃnyāsinam kvachit. For those who give up attachment to karma phala, they'll not be bound by the result of action. They'll be free. No bondage, no rebirth. So that is the gist of this shloka. So we'll stop here and say the closing prayer. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Om. May all be happy. May all be free from diseases and other problems. May all realize and practice what is noble, dharmic, and auspicious. May no one be subject to any kind of suffering. Om peace. May there be peace and joy in our hearts. Adhyatmika shantihi. May there be peace and harmony amongst all beings. Adi bhautika shantihi. And may there be peace everywhere in nature. Adi daivika shantihi. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Shri Ramakrishna-arpanamastu. Thank you all. All of you stay well. And God willing, we shall see you next week. Swami Tyagananda is coming this week, Thursday. And he'll be here for a few days and he'll be doing retreat this weekend. If possible, you attend or you can watch from home. Thank you. Namaskar.
Swamiji, I have a question. Like, Swamiji's poem, he has said good, good, bad, bad, right? Everything will bear result. So, but it seems like we are reborn. We keep coming back because of our desires.
Attachment to karma.
Attachment to karma. So is it because the sannyasins, they are, it's all good, good. That's why, because they don't have any more desires, they just do it for the sake of doing. And then they are done with it, not desiring even the result. That's why they don't have to come back. Because they don't have any desires.
Yeah, they don't come back.
That's why they don't have to come
but
back.
If you give up all desires, attachment, but most of us, some can do, some cannot do. Some of us have to come back. Because so much karma is there. It depends. Some will achieve liberation at the end. For them, this is last life. For some, Sri Ramakrishna said, those who come here this is their last life, he said. So it means those who accept his teachings and follow his teachings will be their last life. Something like that.
So step 1 for us householders.
Yeah, for everybody.
Yes, I do everything good. Try to be good. some unknowing bads will happen, that is, which we are not meaning to. So that is step one. Step two, that, absolutely nothing bad should happen no matter what, not even in thought. Because thoughts are, in thoughts we do all
Oh,
kinds
very
of things.
powerful thoughts.
Physically, we might not do anything.
Yeah.
but thoughts
If you
are,
think bad thoughts, it will create a lot of damage, impressions. Then you have to come back. Yeah, all pure thoughts. That's why we spend our time in studying some holy book, remembering holy people, Mahatmas, and some repetition of God's name, things like that.